Jungkook had money and fame at a level that you couldn't imagine. You worried about livelihood every day when the company's salary was deducted, but he had so much money, how could he like you like this? But Kim Juri was different. She has a good family background. Kim Juri's identity matched Jungkook's. Your expression turned ugly. What's wrong? The maids looked at your face, and her face suddenly turned pale as she asked nervously, are you feeling unwell somewhere? Should I call young Master John over? You was not in the mood to answer and just shook your head, but maid ran away quickly and went straight to find Jungkook. You looked at her back and smiled helplessly, then turned around to walk aimlessly. Such a large building was his private place, a villa by the sea. You had never thought that you would be married to such a rich man. Unfortunately, no matter how brilliant it was just a dream. When he heard that, the maid came to report about your bad expression, that it was like you were sick. He immediately followed her nervously, but when he came to the place brought him, he didn't see the woman he longed for. She was just here. Why did she suddenly disappear? He frowned and asked what happened. She shook her head. Young master, nothing happened. I just took her around the villa and her face suddenly turned ugly. I don't know if she is feeling unwell. I saw that she only ate a few pieces of fruit for breakfast. He frowned deeper and asked for a few people to look around and inform him immediately. If they found you, she immediately bowed and ran away. He pushed his wheelchair to search nearby. Actually, you didn't go far. You just sat on a nearby boat, putting legs into the water, gently swinging and hands put behind for sport, thinking deeply. This was what he saw when he found you. His hanging heart finally relaxed and softly rolled his wheels. I heard from the maid that you don't look well. Did you drink too much last night? Do you want me to find a doctor to take a look for you? You didn't say anything, calmly looked at the sea and smiled. Jungkook, why did you bring me here? Why did he bring you here? He didn't think about this question. He just wanted to bring you here, so he followed his heart and didn't think too much about anything else. What is it? This place is very beautiful. I like it very much. You are sincere. You like it? He raised his brow. He has done so much yesterday, but he couldn't get a word from you that you liked. Now that you said that, his mood immediately became better. His thin lips just curled up to smile, but didn't stay more than 2 seconds. Yes, I quite like it. This also allowed me to clearly see the distance between you and me. You stood up and turned to look into his eyes. Your voice was so soft as the wind. Don't Jungkook, I just realized today that we are not from the same world. What do you want to say? He knew exactly what you wanted to say, however, he never agreed. You looked at him steadily, eyes full of determination. I want to leave this place and divorce you. His pupils contracted. A moment later, he curled his lips to smile with glee. I knew you would have such a thoughts. Then I will tell you right now, it's impossible. Even if you die, you will be still my wife. From now on, you will live here. You are not allowed to go anywhere. Jungkook, what right do you have to make such a decision? I do not want to stay here. You walked. If he didn't want you to leave, so you could leave by yourself, then let's see if you can walk out of here. His voice came from far behind. You ignored him. He felt that you would get lost in this area. You wouldn't walk by yourself. You keep walking and realized that this area was bigger than you had imagined. There were buildings, trees, garden. You couldn't find exit. Even if you found there is also another exit that didn't go outside. You walked for a long time and get tired, then stop to sit on the rock to rest, although it was already autumn because you had walked for so long, so you were covered in sweat. You fan yourself and suddenly thought of something and touched your neck. It was a little numb. What happened to your neck? Unfortunately, you couldn't see it yourself, so you rubbed for a while to ease pain and rest before going to find exit again. When you walked for 10 minutes, you saw the same maid. It's you. She was also happy to see you and walked forward with a face full of joy. Miss, are you alright? You nodded and asked what's wrong. She explained that she thought you were unwell, so young master ordered her to call the doctor. She was full of concern. You helplessly explained that you had another matter. She said she will help you. She subconsciously noticed your neck and smile revealed on her face. This was probably all for Jungkook's sake. You didn't want others to know about the matter between you and Jungkook. However, it was not the time to pursue this matter. You asked her help to find the exit as you want to take a look. She didn't think much as she thought that young master had brought you here, so you must be prepared. After all, you are the first woman that young master had brought. The maids in the villa were all discussed privately that you must be young master's future bride, so everyone was thinking about how to please you. When you asked for help, she immediately nodded and bring you there. You smiled and thanked her, thinking that Jungkook would not let you go. He must be thinking that you could not walk out by yourself, and with your personality, you will never able to find an exit. But he didn't know that the maid would help you get out of this place. You followed her behind. She seemed to know this place very well. It was like she is an old man who had worked here for a long time. She is very familiar with the layout of this place. When you saw exit door, you felt a much more relaxed. The door getting closer as you walked, you would be able to completely leave Jungkook's fort. You took deep breath and turned around to take a look behind for one last time. Then walked towards the door. Stop, you can't walk out of here. Who would have thought that you would be stopped as you reached the door? What are you guys doing? The maid looked puzzled. We are going out. One of guard looked at the maid expressionlessly. Young Master John has ordered that no one is allowed to leave. The maid widened her eyes. What? When did he give the order? Was not the situation in the morning fine? Why did it suddenly? This is the order that was just sent over. Jean Bomi, bring young madam back. Jean Bomi was the female servant who helped you. When she heard young madam, she was surprised. Young madam? Don't tell me you are talking about. She immediately looked at you in fear. Her mouth opened but couldn't say anything. You looked around the situation and took advantage of the time when they were talking to cross the other side and wanted to walk out but was blocked by two more people. Young madam, young master said that you cannot leave this door. You were stunned and remember what he told. Your face turned pale that you almost took big step back, almost falling, but luckily Bomi quickly held your hand to support. Is young madam okay? So he said that you would not be able to walk out of here. Didn't mean that you would get lost. It was because he had already given orders to the guards when you was about to leave. No matter what, he wouldn't let you walk out. You were so happy that you could leave after finding someone to lead the way, but you didn't expect that he had already planned this beforehand. He only waited for you to foolishly walk into a trap and then be captured. Your body trembled in anger as you closed your eyes. On what basis? This is imprisonment, but you suppressed the trembling body, bursting out with a sentence. When the guards saw your pale face, they were so angry that their lips trembled but didn't dare to say anything. They could only take a few steps back. Get out of the way. You opened your eyes and coldly looked at them. I must get out of the store today. I'm sorry, young madam. This is young master's order. Even if we lose our lives, we cannot let you out. Is that so? You scoffed. What if I threaten you with my life? Are you guys not going to let me out? They looked at each other in fear. Young madam, please don't make things difficult for us. We all made a death pact with young master. If you go out, then we will die here. Bhumi was spotting you when she heard that she also broke in a cold sweat. She's so scared. What nonsense are you guys talking about? Do you want to scare young madam to death? Young madam, let's not go out for today. I will help you back to rest. When you saw them spoke with genuine affection, as if they had really made an agreement with Jungkook. So, could it be that you really wanted to watch them die? Sure enough, it was like this. He understand you, that's why he felt that you couldn't bear them to suffer here. So you would stay. Does he think that he knows me well? I have to go out today. You immediately went to door, not caring anything else. If you didn't go today, you will never be able to go and leave this world. If you don't care about their lives, you can go out. Suddenly, a cold voice sounded from behind. You looked back and saw him coming, with his cold gaze falling on you from ethereal. His gaze carried ruthless and cold. Why? You stared at him, asking weakly, I don't want to stay here. I want to go out, can't I? He pursed his lips. No one dared to look at him, as his cold aura almost enveloped the surroundings. No, you started to laugh, walking towards him step by step. Guards and maids saw and they were so afraid that they bowed their head. They didn't expect that young master would be rejected by women like this one day. This was simply too unexpected. Do you really have to force me like this? You looked down at him. He slightly raised his eyes, saying coldly, Yoon Bhumi, take her back to her room. Bhumi was very scared and quickly nodded before holding your hand, saying softly, Young madam, let's go. I will bring you back to the room. I'm not leaving. You stood still. You are not willing to move. She became more scared and lowered her voice. Young madam, let's go. Young master will be angry. What does his anger have to do with me? You stare at him coldly, then withdrew your hand by her walking towards him. Jungkook, do you know that you are imprisoning me? Isn't this against the law? He stayed there calmly, saying coldly, Do you want me to imprison you? You are my wife, and the outside world is dangerous. I forbid you from going out. So, am I breaking the law? Joan Bhumi, he scolded, making poor maid scared again, and came forward to hold your hand. Let's go. Young madam, I will help you. Let's go quickly. Her voice was almost verge of crying. She dragged you along the way. You were dragged by her. Jungkook glanced at guards. Don't worry, young master. We will defend every corner. We will definitely do what you told us. He nodded in satisfaction before leaving the place, making them have a sigh of relief. Scared me to death. I thought I was really going to lose my life this time. Who is that woman who suddenly appeared? She has something to do with our lives. Didn't you hear just now? She's young master's woman. Young master has a problem with his body. Didn't he never have a woman? Why did a woman suddenly appear? I don't know. let's not ask too many questions about the boss. We just need to do what the boss told us. Do not disappoint, boss. Bhumi brought you back to the room where you sat weakly with an unpleasant expression before collapsing onto the soft mattress. Observing your distress, she offered gentle advice. Don't worry, young madam. The young master might just be upset. After some time, you might be able to go out. Go out? Is there still a chance for me to leave? You scoffed. He wants to imprison me here. Bhumi, help me call the police. I need to call the police. Desperate to escape his word, you insisted on involving the authorities. Bhumi, startled, finally regained composure. Young madam, calling the police won't work. You cannot do that randomly as the young master's wife. If I can't call the police, how do I escape? I have to go out. I can't stay here, you exclaimed, shaking your head. I'd rather wander alone outside than be conflicted in this cage. And thinking about Kim Jury only adds to the pain. I can't bear it. Calling the police won't help, young madam. The young master is doing this for your own good. Besides, he treats you well. Even if the police come, they won't intervene in a martial dispute. You two are just a couple having a quarrel. Stunned, you realize he has not been unkind. Despite his sharp words, he bought you many things. The idea of calling the police seems futile. With a gloomy smile, you ask, does this mean I will be imprisoned here forever? Bhumi, taken aback, sees a resemblance in your expression to Jungkook's. Actually, she begins softly, though I don't know why you want to leave or what happened between you and the young master. I want to share that this area is crucial to him. He only visits twice a year for his mother's birthday and death anniversary. Once during mid autumn and a 3-day holiday of Chuseok to wish for heaven. Stunned, you inquire, what did you say? You didn't expect that the reason behind this was actually like this. So, young madam, don't be angry anymore. I will go and bring you lunch, okay? You didn't say anything and sat there in a daze, wondering why he brought you here. If Bhumi was telling the truth, then this was his secret base. It means that he revealed his most vulnerable side to you. A man who is willing to show you the most vulnerable side, that means he has sufficient trust in you. Otherwise, he would not be able to do this. But why did he show you his weakest side? Could it be, did he really have feelings for you? But if he had that kind of affection for you, then why would he be entangled with Kim Juri? What exactly happened between them? The more you thought about it, the more your head hurt. You closed your eyes, but the mind was filled with Kim Juri's smiling face, wearing a pair of pink ear studs. You suddenly sat up. No, you could not continue like this. You wanted to find Jungkook and ask him about it. What exactly did he want to do? You got up and left the room to find Jungkook. Bhumi's speed was so fast that she came with 3 more people and stopped you from leaving. Young madam, I brought everyone to bring lunch to you. She pushed a large cart of food over. You could only stop and take a look. Where did you have the appetite to eat now? I'm not hungry. You can keep it for now. I will come back later to eat. You softly said, these are all dishes that they carefully studied. You need to eat them while it's hot. It won't taste good when it's cold. Everyone needs to make it again. Bhumi accidentally told the truth. She quickly covered her mouth awkwardly, bowing. Young madam, I'm sorry. Don't mind. If you think these dishes are not good, we can do it again. You saw their faces full of expectation. You felt that if you didn't eat a bit of food, they would probably be disappointed. Your biggest weakness was that you were soft hearted. So you could only sat down, following them to table into the room After knowing that you are the young madam, the group of maids did their best to make all kind of delicious foods and placed on a large table, and the room was filled with the fragrance of food. Your appetite was very faint. That's the reason you are so thin and there looking at food full of table with full of sweet dishes. You didn't have a great appetite at all. Chef explained the dishes and said to try the pastries that they specially made by the mixed flavor petals, adding peppermint. They pester you to eat. You eat a little and find that indeed the taste is very good. You didn't like to eat sweet food, but the sweetness of the pastries was just too good. Young madam tried this chicken soup I made. It is best for women. I put tonics in it. You are so thin, so you should drink more chicken soup. Sampling the various dishes, you originally avoiding oily and sweet foods, discover their perfect taste and find yourself wanting more. Your appetite surges, and under their persuasion, you indulge in a feast. Impressed by their culinary skills, you inquire if they are chefs. They explained, young master visits only a few times a year, and during his absence, we study dishes. When he comes, we cook for him. If he is satisfied, we can stay and continue working. Yes, young madam, our monthly salary is quite high and we have plenty of free time throughout the year, one of them adds. Bhumi interrupts anxiously. However, you, the young madam, surprisingly show indifference. You guys are really considerate. You respond with a light smile. Young madam, what they said just now was all nonsense. Don't take it to heart. You shook your head. Don't worry, these things have nothing to do with me. I will not make trouble. You do not need to worry. Their face turned red with embarrassment. They really did their best. Your empty stomach was actually full in such a long time because of their persuasion. You thanked them. They bowed and left the room to let you rest and said that they will send fruits later. If you like these dishes, they will made it again. But you told them to make some simple dishes, not to trouble much. But they said that was their duties. As long as you like it, they are willing to do. You are extremely embarrassed. They probably didn't dare to offend you because of your identity. That was why they protected and respect you like this. You didn't expect that in your lifetime you would be able to fawned over by a group of people. This matter was like a dream. After all left, you immediately called Bhumi to stay as you have some questions. Young madam, what's wrong? I want to find Jungkook. Where is he? She was stunned, but then rolled her eyes. Young master should be taking an afternoon nap at this time. Young madam, do you want me to bring you to him? After he has taken an afternoon nap, you thought about it and nodded. That's good too. Anyway, you ate too much now and now feeling uncomfortable sitting there. Bhumi suggests, young madam, you should walk a few steps. It's good for your health too. I will go first. She leaves, and you find yourself alone in the room with a view of the sea. The sunlight beckons, so you venture outside, sitting under a parasol and playing with the water. As you are about to leave, you catch a cold gaze from the corner of your eye. Jungkook didn't Bhumi mention he was taking an afternoon nap? You didn't sleep. Your eyes meet and you approach him, filled with questions after Bhumi's revelations. Are you looking for me? He asks, sensing an ominous tone as you stand before him. He coldly adds, if you are here for a divorce or to leave, I will say the same thing. Don't even think about it. Why did you bring me here? Who do you think I am? Your probing gaze seeks any hint of emotion in his eyes or between his brows, but he adept at concealing thoughts and emotions, reveals nothing. Must I say it clearly before you understand? He asked in a low voice. leaving you confused. Come here. His voice held a mysterious allure, prompting you to take a step forward. He lifted his hand, pulling you into his arms, wrapping them around your waist, and whispered into your ear, I have been trying to please you. Didn't you notice? Give me some time. I will give you a satisfactory answer, he requested. A satisfactory answer? You questioned, meeting his gaze. Regarding Kim Yuri's matter, what satisfactory answer can you give me? Give me some time, he repeated, his eyes deepening. You bite your lower lip and suddenly hooked your arms around his neck. Then tell me, you and Yuri, that pair of earrings. Trust me. In the midst of winter, with snow falling outside and a brisk sea wind, you have wrapped yourself in sweaters and thick cloths. At 28 weeks pregnant, your little one is fully formed. Jungkook ensures you attend your daily checkups and you relish feeling your baby's moments. For over a month, you have embraced a peaceful life with Jungkook, refraining from pressing him about Kim Yuri's matter. He restricts your activities due to pregnancy, insisting you stay in the villa. Daily needs are tended to by staff, while Jungkook works during the day and returns at night. Prioritizing quality time with you, the maids noticing a new mistress in the villa become bustling, eager to please you. The once cold villa now teems with life. Minho pleased to witness your harmonious connection, a lifetime together. Yet Jungkook maintains a barrier to the outside world, controlling all information. On one particular day, you summoned the courage to request a phone. You took my phone, didn't you? Give it back. You assertively demanded. He frowned, questioning, why do you need a phone? I need to contact my friends. They must be worried, especially Jenny. I haven't been around for days and she must be anxious. I have to reassure her and share some secrets. You explained. He flatly refused. No. Why am I supposed to live here forever without using my phone? You questioned. Puzzled, he seized your wrist, asserting, isn't it good to be with me? Who do you want to contact? Jonghan? Yes, he's been searching for you, but I won't allow you to meet him. Jonghan, the mention of his name sparked a smile on your face. So you confiscated my phone because you're afraid I will contact him? His pupils shrank, but he remained silent. Playfully you asked, are you jealous? The maids, overhearing the exchange, stifled laughter, and though he tried to hide it, his face betrayed a hint of embarrassment. What's so funny? He scolded the maids coldly. Leave. The maids, sensing his stern tone, exited the room, leaving only the two of you. You tilted your head, staring at his half-red ears. Why are your ears red? Hugh inquired innocently. He gritted his teeth. Stupid women, did you do it on purpose? What did I do on purpose? You sneered. Suddenly he reached out, pulling you close and grabbing your chin. Are you still pretending? It looks like you are feeling bold today. Your confidence grew after spending time with me, and you pouted. I'm just asking. Is that so? He leaned in. Are you just really asking? Nothing else? You gave him a peck and hugged his arm. Give me your phone. I want to contact Jenny. She must be worried about me. You were just contacting Jenny? He narrowed his eyes. No one else. If you mean your elder brother, then no. I won't contact him. You clarified, not wanting to raise suspicion. Why are you like this? You are the one who's jealous and unwilling to give me my phone. You don't have to admit it, but give me your phone. You reached into his suit pocket and he frowned, gripping your wrist. Don't touch randomly, he warned. Then give me back my phone, you insisted. I won't give it to you, he rejected. Then a sudden idea crossed his mind. If you want to see Jenny, I can ask Minho to bring her here. Bringing Jenny to see you while there was nothing wrong with it. You hesitated. Can Jenny really come to this place? She's your friend. Of course she can. What about the phone? You questioned. He pecked your lips. It's decided. The next day, Minho indeed brought Jenny over. As she stood in front of you, she seemed incredulous. I'm not dreaming, right? Is this Haejung Villa? Is there a problem? You asked, confused. After a brief pause, she threw herself into a hug. It's good that you are okay. Tell me why you are here. Let go of me first. I was about to be strangled to death by you. You teased, and she released you with a playful scowl. Don't tell me you disappeared these few days just to stay here and enjoy, right? My god, Ryan, you are too mean. I have been worried sick about you, fearing something happened, and here you are enjoying yourself. You motioned for her to sit beside you. It's not that I didn't want to look for you. Jungkook confiscated my phone so I could not contact you. Why did he confiscate your phone? She inquired, her mind racing. Is he afraid you will contact someone else, or are you imprisoned? Are you imprisoned? The truth was yes, but your willingness to stay had changed. You smiled and recounted the events of the past few days. That's it. In conclusion, you gave young Master Joan a chance to provide a satisfactory answer. She asked, and you sighed. Unsure, it's been a few days, and I don't know if his answer is satisfactory. Don't worry, since he told you to trust him, give him some more time, Jenny advised, analyzing the situation. I always said Kim Juri is a kind of woman. If young master really likes you, then he really likes you. Feeling uneasy when Yuri was painted negatively, you frowned. Don't refute me anymore. She has already done this kind of thing. If you speak for her now, I won't help you in the future. Jenny continued to reconcile you, cautioning against trusting blindly. She emphasized that your good friend might not be as kind as you believe. While you wanted to believe in Yuri's loyalty, Jenny warned against being fooled. She urged you not to let the darkness prevail and suggested that Yuri might have hidden motives, taking things from you in a secret. Despite understanding your feelings, Jenny pointed out the betrayal and lies behind your back. Still, you felt the need to hear Yuri's admission. After talking for 2 to 3 hours, Jenny suddenly got up to leave. You felt nervous, wanting her to stay for dinner, but she cutely spoke. Do you think I don't want to stay for dinner? But I still need to go back to work, okay? I'm not like you. I didn't find a long term meal ticket or even meet an outstanding man at the last anniversary banquet. It's all because of you. If not for saving you, I might have already won the championship, basked in the spotlight, and perhaps even fallen in love by now. You initially listened seriously, but at her statement, you couldn't help but make a face. Your imagination is very big. I will leave first. I will come to see you another day. After she left, you were left alone in deep thoughts. Despite not believing Yuri could betray you, the situation remained perplexing. You had expected that if Yuri and Jungkook were in love, you would be the one to leave. But Jungkook didn't let you go. As you contemplated the past and how good Yuri had been, your thoughts were interrupted when Jungkook returned to an empty living room. The maids were packing up, chatting amongst themselves. In the past, you would have been talking and laughing with them upon Jungkook's return, but today the living room lacked your presence. Maids immediately bowed and greeted him. Young master, you are back. Bhumi immediately welcomed him. He felt a sense of loss when he didn't see you. He pursed his lip and looked at her. She knew what he was going to ask. Young madam does not seem to have any appetite today, so she went back to room for rest. Young master, young madam seemed to be in a bad mood. He raised his eyebrow. Didn't Jenny come to see her? Why was she in a bad mood? He nodded. I understand. You should go back first. She bowed. He left for room and entered. The room was dark. He frowned and switched on, only to find that the room was empty, as if no one had ever lived in it. At that moment, only one thought appeared in his mind, that you ran away. Immediately, the aura on his body changed. The veins on his forehead bulged as he spun the wheel in anger and left the room. This woman actually wanted to escape again. Did she think she could escape? Even though he was sitting on the wheelchair, the speed at which he spun the wheel was very fast. In an instant, he was nowhere to be seen. He went straight to find you. He was so furious when he went out. He didn't notice a figure sitting on a wooden board not far from the shore. You are sitting there quietly, hugging your knees and looking at the sea at night. Under the moonlight, the sea was more beautiful than during the day. A bright moon reflected on the sea surface and gave off a beautiful and peaceful feeling. It's cold and snow falling profusely. You wore a thick cloths and kept rubbing your hands. Sometimes he came with you to see and give you a lot of hug and affection that you deserve, but you are disturbed today. So you sat there alone for a while. It was a cold, but your heart was very happy. At this time, he should be back, right? Then you should go back after a while. You are counting times. He thought that you had escaped, so he gathered everyone to search for you the entire villa, but he didn't find you. Because everyone know that Jungkook found you missing from the room. The guards that guarding the door was questioned many times, but no one actually went out. However, you didn't go out, nor was you in the villa area. It was impossible for you to disappear out of thin air. Young master, we searched everywhere but didn't see young madam. Hearing his subordinates, his expression was extremely bad and coldly ordered, go and find her again. Send a few people to look for her and investigate the surveillance. Everyone was running here and there to look for you. Bhumi's expression wasn't good either. She came running with full of fear. Young master, we really searched everywhere but didn't find young madam. Young master, what do you want to say? He glanced with his dangerous gaze. She trembled in fear but muttered some courage. Will it? Will it? At that time, there was only one exit at the place we were at. If you wanted to go out, she would definitely pass by, but the few of us didn't see young madam go out there. So I guess that she might still be in the room. He couldn't help frowning and said with deep voice, there is no one in the room. Bhumi and the rest looked at each other worriedly. Wait, he suddenly remembered something because that room was the by sea. There was two exit door, one for the room and the other to the beach. Could it be? His expression changed. You guys wait here. I will go back to my room to find her myself. Before anyone could react, he already disappeared in a fast mode. After a while, Bhumi smiled, while others chit-chat about possibilities. Where you gone? That might be the case, but this is the first time they seen young master so nervous and angry at the same time. Cold wind hit your face, making you shiver. You calculated the time and about to get up to go back, but suddenly heard an angry voice. Stupid women, you were indeed here. You turned around to see him coming not far from the wooden boat. That figure reflected the light, even sitting on the wheelchair. The firm outline was partially visible under the light and have people a very unreal feeling. You sat there until realized that he was in front of you. He reached out his big hands to grab you from the ground into his embrace. Before you could call him, your mouth was blocked. His kiss came like a surging wave. What's wrong with you? His kiss was different from the past, swallowing you like a beast that didn't feel good at all. Have you been staying here all this time? Haven't you gone anywhere? His voice was low, making you confused. Where can I go? What's wrong? Nothing. He closed his eyes, burying his head in your neck. You could hear his voice trembling as if he was afraid of something. You had been staying here and didn't know what happened. So you reached out your hand to slowly kissed his back. Did something happen? He didn't answer and tightly hugged you. The sea breeze blew, making your body tremble. Only then did he realize that your entire body was wet. After hugging you, even his clothes had been stained wet. The sea breeze was extremely cold. You stupid woman, how long have you been sitting here? Your clothes are all wet. Knowing that you had been sitting here, his fear and anger disappeared in an instant, replaced with senses of satisfaction that you were still here and didn't run away. However, the wetness on your body and the coldness of your hands and feet made his heart ache. He picked you up to his arms. Just a moment of carelessness. There was a wave that came over and accidentally got wet, but fortunately, it wasn't much wet. I was just about to go back to look for you. Stupid women, don't you know that your clothes are already wet like this? What if you catch a cold? You pecked his lips, giggling. He brought you back into the room. You laughed softly. I won't catch a cold with you around. Besides, I was just about to go back when you came. So you are blaming me? He pulled the glass door of bathrooms and opened the shower. Why did you come in too? Hurry up and get out. The warm water hit, drenching both of you. You anxiously pushed him, but he grabbed your wrist. Why are you pushing me? My clothes are also wet. As the fog rose, you looked at him in shock. You don't tell me you want to wash her too. He smirked. Yes, let's wash together. You suddenly realized what was going on. I don't want it. Either you wash first, or I wash myself, or I don't wash. We can't wash together. Your face turned red, even if you both are husband and wife, and taking bath was fine, but you still didn't have the courage to face him. Then how could you do it? You gritted your teeth. What are you shy about? The more you resisted, the more he wanted to get close to you. Both are wet by the warm water and you're sitting on his lap. You immediately panicked. Jungkook. He paused and turned his head to look at you with his rare gentle gaze. Hurry up and wash up. If you call me again, I will really not be polite to you. He closed the door behind, leaving you alone. You looked down because his clothes are also wet. You quickly finished washing within 10 minutes and after changing, went out to find Bhumi, wiping the water on the floor. She smiled. Are you done washing? Please wait a moment. I will clean up this place and blow your hair. She quickly wiped. You saw how hard for her to do that, so you said that you will do yourself. Tell her to go back and rest after wiping floor. She looked at you emotionally and said that young master is washing up in the next room, so she will rest later. After finished wiping, she came with towel and wiped your hair. She gave you a warm soup because she is afraid that you will catch a cold. So young master told them to bring you something warm to drink. You felt very unreal. Since you was young, this was the first time you was taken care of so well. This man gave you the best that you had never imagined that you would get. You thanked her. Bomi really likes you. Although you are young, madam, you didn't trouble them and showed the attitude that many wealthy ladies showed. Because they're rich and superior, Bhumi talked about her previous experience about the world so seriously. Maid's life wasn't good. Many bosses scolded, and some of might get beaten if they were not careful, and there was nothing they could do other than obeying. Sometimes there was not good salary, and sometimes they need to endure punishment, but ever since they came here, they enjoyed freedom that they had never had before. Even though Jungkook usually had a cold face and his words are harsh, as long as they behaved themselves, he would never blame them. To them, that man was like a god. After drying your hair, she went out talking about her life, sharing actually how grateful she was to young master. You felt proud, actually, and happy. For long, Jungkook didn't come back. You went to take a look and hear sound of water still splashing. He still hadn't finished washing up. You were so lazy to wait for him. Coupled with the fact that you were extremely sleepy, you returned to the room to lie down to sleep. After 15 minutes later, you felt the bed sink a little. After that, a slightly cold body came over, wrapping around your waist. The bed was very warm. This touch or coldness made you unconsciously move forward, wanting to leave the cool body behind. The person behind you was slightly stunned. After finishing, he came directly to the room to find you sleeping. So his body was still cold. He laid in the blanket for a moment, waiting for his body to warm up before he could hug you. After rubbing hands, he felt that his body regained its temperature and came forward to hug you from behind. This time, you didn't run away. He kissed your temple before sleeping. When you woke up, your bedside was empty. He always wake up before you and went for work. You found phone laying quietly on beside table, and there was a note on the table that he left as usual reminding you. Remember to eat breakfast, husband. Your heart was warm. It seemed like he was willing to let you communicate with the outside world. Beside, your old phone was also new one for you to use. You washed up and went to eat breakfast. Bhumi came to greet. You noticed that they didn't look good and not energetic. What's wrong with all of you? You asked doubtfully. Last night, they looked for you for a long time. Later, they were all frightened and had insomnia. So we didn't seem to be in good spirits. You frowned. You guys looking for me for a long time. Didn't I always stay here? Did something happen? Bhumi explained what exactly happened last night. You suddenly understood. No wonder when Jungkook found you last night, he pulled you into his arms and hugged you tightly. It turned out that there was actually episodes you think about phone before he has been worried that you would run away from here, so he never wanted to return the phone to you. After knowing that you would not go anywhere and actually you can lost here, so he returned the phone to you. Young madam, young master really cares about you. Bhumi saw you lowered your head, not speaking. She was afraid that you would imagine things or that accidentally misunderstood Jungkook, so she talked behalf him. You smiled at her. You really know how to speak for him. She was little embarrassed. Young madam, you must be joking. I'm not speaking for young master. I'm telling the truth. You know it yourself, don't you?